I'm live. Today's a day. Okay, I'm live, I'm recording. I'm probably gonna edit this later. Editor's note. See? Yeah, that's gonna be my editor's note. Yes. It is time for story time. I'm gonna be streaming a story time about my experience at Keycon and NYC. If anyone wants to join anyone wants to watch and ask some cues about meetups and stuff. Oh, it's stuck in my head now. Hello, Gio. Your stories will come soon. They'll be happening in the soon. In the soon. Just like all the new insider moments. Not too many insider moments. There's a few here and there. Oof. Me-seek spot. Not too late today. Awesome possum. Yeah, his bot was I was pretty speedy. Pretty speedy. I will soothe your sores, Nebulant. I'm sorry that your CA66, after so much waiting, has some issues, but at least when I talk to Barry, I know the only person I know at Play Keyboards is Barry. They all seem like pretty good folks, and you know, I really do hope they take care of you. I hope so, at least. I know I'd be worried that, you know, they're so inundated with, you know, shipping out so many orders. Things like that could slip past. Yes, pictures, yep. Of course. Hope you can get a real cheap shit case with a working... The thing is, I don't think it's going to be easy to get, like, a shit case, because everyone who's getting, like, cases with issues, it's still, like, because they just shipped, everyone's going to be trying to, you know, work with Play Keyboards to get those, you know, replaced or fixed. So... And I don't know if I don't know if there will be that many. But yeah, Cerakoting would be really cool. I guess I will put some waiting music on until 6:30, and then I will start telling stories, and then I will turn the music off when we get there. You'd be happy with a slight refund to go to Cerakote? Well, see what they say first. See what they say first before, you know, when they see all your picks. Hopefully it works out for you. Bam. Green eggs and ham. Got some viewers trickling in. I'm going to say hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing wonderful on this Monday and have had a good weekend. I've had a pretty exciting weekend. Pretty exciting. Howdy, Titan. Hello, Sleep Poke 8. Do I know when clear pandas are coming out? They're not technically pandas. Do you mean the clear Yawk switches? if you mean by those, I know the China round has already ran. I'm not sure if they're planning on doing an international run. I think that's still a TBD on their side. I'm not sure though. I do have some of the clear Yock switches. They're actually a small improvement, which is good. I don't know if they're planning on doing an international run. That's a TBD kind of thing. TBD kind of thing. Audio coming across all right for everyone? I just want to make sure you guys can hear me hunky dory, all good in the hood. Nice and clean, crisp. Am I in appropriate volume, or am I like a few other streams that may be on the soft side? Because I'm looking at my audio, it looks like I'm like slightly in the red zone for my OBS monitoring. But I know that's not always accurate, because there's technically 3 different input settings, and just because you're clipping on one doesn't mean you're not loud. If you know what I mean. Because you can be like clipping on one input and another input still has you like held back. Very slightly soft, not bad. Talisman Solution, thank you for the 889 bits. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That puts you at number 1. That puts you at the bit leader. Pudsy, I'm not going to call you in because you're just going to talk the whole time, and this is my stream. So, no. You know I'm right, bud. You know I'm right. How are you doing, Pudsy? Hope you're doing well. I know you just had a random happenstance happen to you. But I hope you're doing well. And missed the. I mean, I know the mirror's okay. Are you okay though? I guess as long as the mirror's okay, you'll do well enough. But swapping for the mirror for a change of pace is very nice call. I need to pull up my mirror. Looks like yeah, it's one of those crazy things. Crazy. I'm gonna do like one more song, I guess. And then I guess we'll start. I think people just like trickle in and probably miss out on a ton of things, but that's life. Ow. Boop do 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 do. Okay, let's get some viewers in the chat for today. We should make an outline. No, I'll go in chronological order of what I remember. It'll be fun that way. You don't have your camera plugged in, so I couldn't call you. Freaking Pudsy. You tease. You tease. Why don't you just always keep it plugged in? You do not have enough I/O ports on the back of your computer, or do you rock a laptop? And in that case, I'm like, wait, no. If you had a laptop, you'd have one. You didn't plug. Oh, yeah, that's right. You just moved because life makes you go back and forth places from time to time. I always forget about that. Hey, Jeff. Good to see you in chat here. Sounds good, Pudgy. Don't worry. I'm sure your ears will perk up when you hear something very relevant to you. Which, I mean, we hung out a lot this weekend, so there will be things. Just don't miss a turn. Wum, bum, bum, bum. This is a very nice piano song. Editor's notes. Remember this song, Joking Together, on one of your royalty-free subscriptions that you can look up. Because this would be nice to play in the background during story time. During story time, when I actually stream it, there's going to be no background, because if I cut things, I don't want the music to unsync. Because editing smartness. Okay. Where should we start? Where should we start? Maybe at the beginning. Maybe all the way at the beginning. Back in the day. 2011, Men of Interest first got into keyboards. Nah, it's probably a bit too far back. Yeah, it's a little bit too far back. But let's I guess we can start with Thursday. Sorry, something in my mouth. Thursday's a great day. A great day to start on this adventure. I don't think, hopefully my fan isn't too loud. I'm wearing a collared shirt with another shirt on the inside. So trying to stay cool while staying fashionable. Actually, I just came back from work. Okay. Can't hear it all. I'm good. Okay, sweet. Awesome. That's why I like shotgun mics like this. Thanks, Budsy. Okay, it is Keycon and Storytime. And if you guys have questions, you feel free to just ask them. Like, it's going to be a pretty casual stream. I'm just going to be, like, telling the adventures of this weekend that just happened. So, if you have any questions or, like, you missed a part or something, just let me know in chat. No biggie. Is Daijobu, as the cool kids say. So, our story begins with a young man of interests. It's Thursday. Thursday, May 30th. And man of interest has a plane to catch. Where is this plane taking him? Why is it taking him places? And that's because man of interest made a plan 2 months before that. Already, A+ storytelling, putting a flashback in a flashback. 2 months ago, 2 months before last Thursday, I got my tickets. Got a flight to New York, got my hotel room. I was set this timeline. So, for those who don't know, Keycon is organized by Jacob's Mirror of Geek Hack to take place June 1st, 2019 between 12 and 6 p.m. 20 West 29th Street, New York, 10001 at the Ace Hotel. Super awesome. Super awesome. So, the young man of interest was like, woo, this is a thing that's going to happen, and I'm really excited for it. Super excited for it. Got my tickets, hotel ticket, cha-ching, plane ticket, cha-ching, wallet, womp, womp, womp. That's part of life. That's a part of life. So, Thursday the 30th rolls around. I got a flight to catch. My flight out of Fresno was at 11:22. As the responsible young man I am, I got to the airport at 10:40. And I still made my flight. So, big applause for Fresno Yosemite International Airport, also known as FAT for their flight code, for getting me through security super quickly. BSOS. How many Keycons have I been to? This is the first Keycon I've ever been to. This was the first Keycon. Exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. So, got my flight over to New York. Arrived in New York at like noon. And then at noon 30 is when my next flight departed to New York. Or maybe like 3-ish. Hello, Olivia. Hopefully the audio quality is listenable from JetBlue's Wi-Fi on a plane. Dog bless. So, caught my next flight to New York after, what did I eat? I ate a fried chicken sandwich in LA. It was delicious. Arrived in New York at around 11:30 p.m. on Thursday. Then I got to my hotel at around midnight, which, by the way, come on, 11:30 p.m. is a surge hour for Uber at JFK. You know how much my Uber cost me to get to the hotel? It was like $80. Oh, that's so much money. And it took so long because there's traffic. Because it was like rainy. There's traffic. There was like an accident we passed on the way to the hotel. I was like, oh my god. So, for those of you who may not know, in New York, which is a state, the Keycon took place in Manhattan, which is an island, right? So you enter the island from a bridge, and traffic was so bad, the GPS was like, don't go through the city. Go all the way around the whole entire island to the other side, which is like 4 times the actual geographical distance. That will be faster than the traffic trying to go a quarter of the distance. I'm like, okay, this is New York. This is New York. So, around midnight, got to the hotel, checked in, super easy, super nice. I did not stay at the Ace Hotel. I stayed at a hotel called the Watson Hotel at the recommendation of a friend. Was very, very fun, very enjoyable, nice hotel, very nice people. So here's the thing. It's midnight East Coast time, but the Huey brain is wired for that Pacific time. And in my head, it's 9 o'clock, and I'm ready to have fun. Not under the sun because it'd still be 9 o'clock and it was raining. So, what did I do? Fortunately, the Watson Hotel's cocktail bar, opens until 3. So I drank till around 2:30. And then I went to sleep. Just a normal night. A normal Huey night. That was really fun. But the fun only began from there. I woke up the next morning at around 8 a.m. Eastern, so now we're just going to do all Eastern time. Woke up 8 a.m., fresh and early, showered, just got my stuff together, which is just like my wallet. I didn't want to look touristy, so I didn't bring a backpack or anything. Like, I'm like, okay, I got my wallet, got my phone, and because I'm a guy, this will come into the story later, I got a battery bank and USB-C cable because guy pants. You guys know what I mean? Like we can just fit stuff. It's great. It's great. That's all I had, really. And I guess my hotel key card, which the person on the front desk was really, really anal about. Don't put that near your phone. Don't put that near your credit cards. I'm like, well, okay. I mean, I got 2 back pockets. I guess I'll use the other one. For the first time ever, I used my left back pockets. So, thanks New York for that experience. So 8 a.m. All I did. So I had lunch plans at noon, but until then, I just wandered around. First thing I did, step aside. I just walked without direction for about 30 minutes. I just walked. I took a turn when I felt like it. I went straight most of the time, and I was like 2-ish miles from Central Park. So like after, you know, like 15, 20, 30 minutes, Central Park, and also like little like there's like signs for like this underground market thing, which is like basically next to or the subway turnstiles. There's like a group of like just shops. And there's pizza, and I'm like, well, I'm in New York. You gotta get pizza. So I had pizza. It was really good. So I will say, right under your building, nice. So I'll say the pizza in New York is pretty good. Very, very nice crispiness to it. It's an island, you can't really get lost. Yeah, at some point you're going to just hit water anywhere you go. Or a bridge, which is still hitting water. So I went to pizza. I think it was like Champion Pizza. I don't know, some pizza place. It was really good. I don't know about pizza prices in New York, but he's basically from the West Coast like me. It's not super common. On the East Coast, you just pay money. Instead of giving you like a small pizza for yourself, they just give you like a big motherfucking slice. Like it was a pretty big slice. I didn't even know what I was getting into, so I just ordered 2 slices. Cause I'm like, I'm pretty hungry. Breakfast. Let's get that pepperoni slice and that buffalo chicken ranch slice thing. I don't know. It was actually way more than I expected. But very delicious. Very delicious. I was full, so I wandered around Central Park like every tourist does, because I'm like, hey, I'm on the East Coast. It was great. Wandered around Central Park. Weather was beautiful. On my way around, I was talking to an Uber driver. This is later in the day. I was this is something later, but later in the day when I was talking to an Uber driver, he was telling me this is like the first sunny Friday that we've had in like 2 weeks. It's been raining, you know, the last 20 out of 30 days. So like everyone's going wild. So I'm like, the weather's so nice here, and there's so many, it was packed. Central Park was packed. So I guess it was because the weather finally cleared up and it's beautiful, and Friday. So I walked around, you know, walked off all that pizza I ate, which by the way was absolutely delicious. Yeah, and then at noon, so I literally just all I've done is just like wander around. I wanted to go to a hot dog food truck. I saw one. I approached it, and I was about to order. Okay, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready to take your order." And he looks around, then he looks back at me, and he's like, "1 second, I'll take your order in like a few minutes." I'm like, "What?" Then he like turns around and starts talking to this other guy. I'm like, "What's going on?" And I peek my head up. I see the other guy has a notepad scribbling, and as someone who works alongside government entities, I'm like, that's an inspector. This guy's being health inspected right now. That sucks for this guy. I'm gonna go. So I did not end up eating a hot dog in New York. My only chance to was dashed by a health inspector. So maybe, thank you, random health inspector. Maybe you saved my New York trip. Maybe it would have gone really bad if I ate if I ate that hot dog. I've heard mixed things. It's inspection season. Okay, that makes sense. So noon rolls around, and then I grab food trucks and carts have super strict rules. Is it health rules that are super strict about them, or permitting rules? I assume permitting is like the harder part, because there's like almost both. Okay, so it's like super competitive though. Yeah, has to be super strict on both because it's super competitive. Ran into Larry David on Saturday on the way home. That was awesome. That's awesome. Heck yeah. So noon rolls around, and I have a wonderful lunch with Jay Chef, who's also in chat, at a I guess more French than French fusion. Yeah, it's French place. There's no French places where I live in Fresno, if anyone's wondering. So I don't really have a chance to have French food ever. So it was very, very enjoyable. I had escargot, and then I had like barbouloud, as J Chef said. I had escargot for my appetizer, and then for my entree, I had essentially a pork sausage in mashed potatoes and gravy, except those extremely buttery mashed potatoes. So, pretty good. Pretty good. Boudin Blanc. Yes. Yes. It was good. Hung out with Jeff for about two hours, maybe 2.5 hours. Which was really fun. We talked about keyboard stuff. If you ever get to meet me in real life and have a meal with me, prepare to talk about keyboard stuff for at least 2 hours. It never ends. Keyboard discussion never ends. In fact, it's like amplified with food, beer, and sparkling water. So we had a long good chat about a lot of fun things, both behind the scenes and in front of the curtain, if you know what I mean. After that, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go to B&H because I love videography stuff. But then I learned they're closed at like 1:30 p.m. on Friday. I'm like, as someone from the West Coast, that makes no sense to me. Why would you be closed on a Friday at 1:30 p.m.? And then as Jeff let me know, they are Jewish and they are very, very observant of the I don't know what it's called. Sabbath? Hasadim? Of something that basically says Sabbath. Thank you, Pudsey. I was right. Okay. Basically, they just don't work much on Friday. I'm like, that's annoying. Properly annoying because I was really looking forward to going to B&H in New York. Didn't get a chance to. So instead, I settled for Adorama, who I think is also owned by a Jewish individual, but they decided to be open. So I went there instead for like an hour. I will say, the thing about retail in New York, it seems like they only care to be cashiers. The people who work at these places seem to only care about cashiers. Like, they don't see you if it's busy, they won't help you essentially because there's just too many people existing in New York City to like work other than to be essentially a checkout counter, which I thought was really weird. I'm like, you have like 8 people here and like 6 of them are just checking people out. You could have a touchscreen do that. You can have one person monitor 4 iPads with scanners to do that. Whatever. They make a lot of money. I was thinking about getting a monopod. I regret not getting a monopod. So I'll have to get a monopod in the future. That was really fun, though. It was still really, really cool to see all these great lenses, great cameras, and a lot of just people really enthusiastic about photography and cinema and videography and all that cool stuff. So around 4:30 rolls around, I don't know what I can disclose, so I'll disclose things very vaguely at this point. I walk, because close by. I walk near Olivia's place of work, because it's Friday. I'm good friends with Olivia, famous designer of GMK Olivia, and now GMK Olive, which you can get at Novel Keys. Yeah. That was really cool. So I walked in the area because we were going to meet up for happy hour drinks. And I was really looking forward to that. So I hung out in the park. I people watched. I was sitting at this park like 3 seats over. There was this like woman. She was just like texting. And there was like a random guy like, hey, you're sitting alone? Can I sit with you? He sits down. And then 3 seconds later, oh, you're married? And he just takes off. I'm like, oof, wow, that was quick. What a guy. What a guy. What else did I see? I saw a guy pull the classic with his dog. Oh, my dog, he loves women and babies. Literal words that man said to another human being. I don't know if it worked. I wish that person all the best. Maybe that's what I need to do with Giorgio when I go out. Oh, and then eventually I get a ring from Olivia, and she tells me, hey, my work's basically done. Head on over, and then happy hour drink. So I went up to her place of work. Her place of work is really cool. I got drinks there. Drinks at work on a Friday, yeah. As well as there's some little finger food. It was really, really awesome. Really awesome. Diego, aka Lightning XI, joined us. He came from, I think he's from the upper side of New York, north side. I think Buds, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's from the north side of the aisle. I just know it's north, but then again, what isn't north of there? And everything's south from there. Who else? And then the crew from Novelties. To the north. Okay, cool. The crew from Novelties arrived to join us as well. And if you guys don't know, the crew of Novelties has evolved. Novelties originally started as just Mike, and then he brought on one more employee, Corey, as you guys might have seen in the last few meetups. And now they have a new third member, Wendell. Super awesome, A+ individual. All three of them were there. They're all awesome. So happy that they came out. After that, we're like, okay, let's head to dinner. And from there, we're like, where's the Pudsey? Pudsey was supposed to meet us, and Pudsy's like, I'll see you guys there, 'cause life. What? So we headed to our dinner plans, which was ramen. And at ramen, Pudsey was very graciously waiting for us, and there. It was great to see Pudsey. And then Mr. Petrov also joined us while we were waiting for a table, which was very convenient. We got two tables that ended up pretty close to each other at a pretty small place, which is hard in New York, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. 9 people. We got a booth like this and a table like this. There's only a small divider. So we could turn around and drink and say hi to each other and do a cross table cheers, you know? That was really, really, really fun. So, for those of you who may be wondering these things, one, Pudsey, if you don't know what Pudsey looks like, which we'll go through pictures later, Pudsey looks like probably what you should expect him to look like, depending on how much you interact with him. He's not a small Asian man, but you don't really come off as a small Asian man. Petrov probably will be slightly different from what you've expected, depending on how much you've interacted with him. I think overall, when I saw Mr. Petrov, when I saw him approaching our group, I'm like, that's a keyboard person. That's all I could tell. I was like, I'm Mr. Petrov, except with a way better accent than this. I'm like, oh, awesome. Cool. Nice meeting you. Yes, we went to Table Tomo, which was very, very, very wonderful. So we all ordered our food. We ate. I know their table, they got I think sake flights. And then our table, what did we get? We got cold sake, which was absolutely delicious. Ooh, Budgie knows how delicious our sake was. Budgie had to control himself because that was the start of the night, which I will get to. So we all had our ramens, which was pretty good, filling enough. I very much enjoy. I think everyone enjoyed their food quite a lot. So that was oof. We'll go over Thumb Master very soon. That's a game. After ramen, we all took Ubers. 2 Ubers, just because 9 of us. They don't make Uber limos yet. To a very wonderful tea place called, I think, Pudgy is called Tea Drunk. I think so, something like that. But we walked. We walked to it? I thought we Ubered to it. Maybe we did walk to it. Oh yeah, we did walk to it. It's really close. We Ubered after to somewhere else. But we went to this tea bar. Very, very small, quaint place. Absolutely delicious. We spent like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours there just drinking tea that they'd brew for us. A+. Best tea. Best tea. If you ever go to New York, getting fuzzy already, you know it. If you ever go to New York, go to this tea place that Pudgy will hopefully correct me on soon if I'm wrong, and have tea there. It's amazing. As an editor's note, just like add these places I'm talking about onto the screen so people who are watching the VOD can just like see a picture of it. Magic of editing. So we had tea for a long time, and one of the things I noticed from that place and other places in New York is apparently a lot of New York places just don't like air conditioning or care, even though it gets like super hot and stuffy and humid in a lot of their restaurants and shops. I don't know. But I basically went outside. I know it's expensive, yeah. Tea drunk? Okay, cool. I went outside a lot to like cool off between like rounds of tea because it was like hot tea. It was completely crowded with like all of us at the single tea bar that they had, taking every seat. It was really fun. I talked a lot with Pudsey and Mr. Petrov. You guys may not know, if you guys are interested in baseball, talk to Pudsey. Talk to Pudsey if you like baseball. If you don't like the Mets, also talk to Pudsey. I don't know what'll happen. So we had tea. We had a lot of tea. A lot of good conversations. I talked a lot with Mike, and as well as the new Novelties member Wendell, who is a super cool guy. Super cool guy. Talked a bit with Olivia, Diego, which is Lightning, his girlfriend as well, who was there and been there. That was really cool. He actually brought his artisans, and he showed off some of his artisans, which is really cool. We were explaining to the proprietors of the tea establishment, because they were like, how does this collective bunch of people know each other of different ages and ethnicities and professional jobs and everything? We're like, we're all here together for a keyboard convention. And we had to explain what a keyboard convention was to the proprietor of the shop, which was hilarious and awesome at the same time. We all have fingers. Okay, so basically everywhere we go, Pudsey and Mr. Petrov like to convince everyone that I'm some kind of keyboard celebrity, which is not true. It's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, he's a guy, yeah. I'm like, oh god, it was really embarrassing everywhere we went. Because they would just start with these like sweeping assumptions. Oh, you've heard of Man of Interest, haven't you? I'm like, oh god, how do I live up to this? Actually, this is true. I have been once stopped in the streets. No, technically I haven't. My group was at the last NorCal meetup. I was walking with Gio and Brandon, and we met Nebulant because Gio was laughing about something, and Nebulant identified Gio's laugh. And I was like, "You're Gio." "Yes." "You're Huey." "I am." "I don't know you." And Brandon was like, "Yes." Essentially. So that was really fun at that tea place. And after that, I'm like, okay, let's get drinks, because drinks are fun. And Olivia's like, I got the place. And we're like, what's the place? A speakeasy. Speakeasies aren't really a thing on the West Coast. I know about them, but they're really, really cool. I was really excited. I've never been to a speakeasy before. A speakeasy is essentially just a bar slash cocktail lounge, except there's like, you know, no writing, no advertisements, anything on the front. It's just like a door and a bouncer. Like, it's super nondescript. When you go inside, it's like either really bougie or like, it's also like everything in New York, dimly lit. New York doesn't like lights either. Lights and AC. New York has something against electricity. I don't know. But it was very dimly lit. It was really wonderful. We were actually able to get a nice little booth for basically all of us. Unfortunately, at that point, the Novel Keys crew had to leave us for other plans with other people they've made. Makes sense. If you ever go to meetups, you know, you got to be... Sometimes if you want to hang out with certain people, you got to fit in their plans, because some people are busy. Where, like, for example, Novel Keys, some of their dinners or like lunches are like actual business dinners or business lunches with other people where they actually are talking about business. I can't just like call Mike at any time when we go to a meeting and be like, hey, let's grab something. And you'd be like, sorry, I got a meeting with can't disclose for I cannot disclose reasons yet. Yeah. So they left us, but as we were drinking around round 2, we picked up a pretty cool trio. We picked up Mr. Garrett of Dixie Mech. We picked up Mrs. Garrett of Dixie Mech, for those of you who don't know, as Garrett's wife. And we also picked up Ham Kenobi, good friend of theirs. Wonderful individual as well. Shout out to Ham Kenobi. So, it was in the cover of the darkness of the speakeasy with expensive, delicious drinks. Big shout out to Mr. Petrov for covering the speakeasy bill. big shout out, as well as teaching us the thumb game. So what is the thumb game? Thumb game. It's simple. One person starts as the thumb master, and with all thumb masters, you're going to need to have 2 thumbs to play this game. Sorry, single-thumbed people of the world. This game really isn't for you. Okay? It's a kind of a slow burn kind of game. So what does the thumb master do? At any point, the thumb master must choose to put their left thumb or their right thumb onto the table and then leave it there. And now everyone must watch and slyly put their own matching thumb, right thumb, onto the table. The last person who realizes what's happening will be vexed by the situation, because now they must drink, and they become the thumb master. So what was exciting about this speakeasy was our waiter was absolute A+ individual, because Mr. Petrov wanted to add the stakes a little bit. As you know, this is a speakeasy at a pretty classy speakeasy. It's a nice cocktail bar. Mr. Waiter, I need three of the most disgusting shots you have. And our waiter's just like, how disgusting? I think what did Mr. Petrov, what did you say? Did you say Sydney water? I don't know. You said something relating to either Sydney or Australia. And the waiter was just like, and walked away. And we're like, what's happening? I don't want to be the thumb master. Australia disgusting. He said Australia disgusting. And the waiter's just like, gotcha. And he just walked away. And the rest of us are like, what does this mean? I don't want to be the next thumb master. I don't want to have to take a shot of whatever mysterious thing this may be. It was a little worrying, because these like really dark liquids just popped up on the table. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm just like, While this was happening, context, I was sitting at the edge of the booth. Next to me was Pudsey. Next to him was Mr. Petrov. So on one side. Then we got Olivia, Diego, and his girlfriend, until they left, which would eventually be replaced by Garrett and his girlfriend. And then Ham Kenobi got the awkward pull up the chair to the side of the table because you don't fit on the booth. So Pudsey and I, we're hanging out. You know, it's a pretty loud place, so it's really hard to speak across the table. So it was mostly Pudsey and I talking, and Mr. Petrov, and us with Ham Kenobi. At the beginning, Pudsey and I noticed something interesting. There was a couple sitting extremely closely behind us. Like, I couldn't lean back. If I leaned back in the booth, I would like, my head would be interfering with their ability to see each other physically. Like, if I did this, there'd be like, there's an Asian man blocking our conversation. I apologize. Well, they wouldn't have to apologize. I would have to apologize. That would be awkward. But not as awkward as what happens next, which Fuzzy and I we're people watchers kind of people. And those two behind us were having a very jovial conversation. A young man, a young woman. They seemed dressed up for the occasion. And Pudgy's like, so Huey, which date number do you think this is? I'm like, I think long and hard. I said, I think it's either the second date or the first date if he's rich. And Pudgy, I think Pudgy, you also said second dates. So we're like, I'm like, I don't know. And then Pudgy after, I guess this is after like 5 sips of his drink, which is his first drink was actually pretty potent, was like, I'm just going to ask them. I don't care. I said, oh, okay. Pudgy said 2 to 5. Okay. And Pudgy, his drink was pretty potent. So he's like, I'm just going to ask them. I don't care. I'm just going to ask them. So he turns around and, you know, don't mean to interrupt, What, just curious, what date number are you guys on? And immediately she says, oh, we're cousins. But she's just like, oh. No, I think we had our first drinks. Our first drinks did come, Pudgy, when this happened. They're like, oh, we're cousins. And they're like, there's like 3 seconds. 3 seconds we're just like, wait, what? And then they're like, oh, no, we're just kidding. Like, but literally, she dropped it. She dropped that like instantly as soon as Pudgy asked. And like at that point, we thought she was dead serious. No, like after like 3 seconds of us like staring back and forth, all 4 of us, they're like, no, we're just we're just going out. And that's when Mr. Petrov joined in. He's like, oh, this is your first date, isn't it? And they're like, yeah, our first date. And like he was just correct right off the bat. And we're like, oh wow. And Pudgy's like, oh, I got it wrong. I'm like, I got a half wrong. I'll take it. I got half wrong, you know, because I said I thought second date, first if he was rich. I gave 2 answers. I'll take only a half point for that. It's not bad. They were very they're very funny and very good, because we talked to him a little more and he's like, oh, you guys think it's like my second date, so I'm doing pretty good then, right? And she's just like, eh. So that was really fun. And then we kind of talked to everyone else, played more Thumb Masterino, which was absolutely great. And then I know earlier I said the night had only just began, but truly the night had only just begun. Words. But yes, as Pudgy mentioned, as they were leaving, she said she'll probably see him again. So, good job, guy, at that speakeasy on your first date. You did good. You did good. I think we can all collectively say you did pretty good. You're pretty good. So, we don't want the night to end just there, because Pudgy, in his brilliance, not 1 hour, not 2 hours, but basically at the beginning of like the night, started with a semi-ironic, we should go karaokeing. And at this point, after several drinks, that semi-ironic, we should go karaokeing turned to, where are we going to karaoke? At that point, we're all on board. Mostly. The only person who was a little new was Garrett, aka Dixie Mac, because he is a wonderful man from Alabama. He is, I don't think, ever karaoke'd before. But you know what? He killed it. We found a spot nearby. not gonna lie, it was the most ghetto karaoke place I've ever been to in my life. Yeah, Pudgy's never done. Olivia definitely wasn't drunk enough. She didn't want to get drunk enough either, though, because she didn't want to do more shots, unfortunately. Mr. Petrov, myself, Garrett from Dixie Mech, Pudgy to a degree, got super into it. Like, you're super into it. You've never had quality karaoke until you've done country roads with Garrett. I think that's like one of the highlights of karaoke in my life. He also did his keyboard edition for us live. Amazing. So one of the most, so I don't think I had the recording of it too. So we were ready for karaoke at that point when we walked into that room, but we didn't think we were as ready as Mr. Petrov wanted us to be ready. Okay. So, we put the deposit down for the room. We got showed to the room by one of the waiters. Just as the waiter was leaving, we were like starting to, get ready to queue up some songs on the karaoke machine. Mr. Petrov's like, hold on. I need 14 shots. No, 15 shots. And the guy's just like, you got it. I'll take one with you too. And we literally started karaoke with just shots all around. Man. Everyone's just like, what? What? Yeah, so that was fun. It was supposed to be 2 shots per person. Not everyone took 2 shots. I know that because I had like 3, if not 4, of those. So that was my life. But there was a lot of singing, a lot of good fun. A lot of good fun. Sorry, getting a little hazy. I very much enjoyed that night. We stayed up till around 2:30 karaokeing. Singing our lungs out. I fully lost my voice. This is, of course, the night before Keycon, and I'm kind of expected to talk to people the next day for reasons, and like my voice was just gone from drinking all night and singing all night. It was one of the most fun pre-meetup experiences I've had with everyone. Yeah, it was fantastic. We sang a lot of good songs, actually, now that I think about it. It worked. We didn't necessarily sing them, on tune or in tune or on pitch, but we emptied our lungs and our hearts to the music, and that was what made it great. Pudgy got home around 4. I got back to my place at like 2:45, 3-ish. I just took my clothes off and fell asleep. Woke up the next morning at around 7. 7:30. Yeah, I woke up around 7:30 the next morning. Showered, got ready. I stayed pretty close to Olivia, so I had to walk a little bit and met her. Then we Ubered to Dim Sum in Chinatown the morning of the meetup, the 1st of June. Yeah. Pudgy met us there. Lightning met us there. Finally, after so long, Mr. Nathan Kim Tailtypes. He was actually the first one there. He was supposed to come last night for the karaoke, but he was unable to. So he met us with Dim Sum instead. So that was super fun. Dim Sum, delicious. Get a lot of tripe in you, get a lot of chicken feet in you, some hakao, some sumai, you know what I'm saying? The good stuff. The good stuff. Pudgy with his love of that cake thing. It's retro. Yeah, the tripe definitely has a, if you're not used to that texture, can take some getting used to. Chicken feet though. I mean, if you love chicken skin, if you love, chicken fat, it's all chicken feet is. It's like filter feeding that. So that was a really, really fun time. Really fun time. Just like eating. And then after we ate, it was time to head to the meetup. So we all, you know, headed to the meetup, and we met up. Yeah. Oh man, the meetup was a good time. I had my giant camera rig. It's not built up anymore, so I can't show you guys because Pudgy, I can't forget. What can't I forget? Getting into the Uber. I was not there for your Uber. Getting into the Uber. So, I also can't forget it because I wasn't there for that. Remember, Pudgy, shared memories need to have both people involved in the memory. Pudgy, please. So we met up. A lot of people there. It was pretty well done meetup. I'll really say for like every meetup, as someone who runs meetups myself, just like my meetups, this meetup also had its own pros and cons. Don't know if I should get into it now or just like talk to Jacob's Mirror later, whatever. But shout out to Jacob's Mirror for, assembling the whole thing essentially, and all the volunteers and staff that made it possible, because it was a good meetup. It was a fun meetup. People enjoyed it. And, hats off to them. Thank you so much to Jacob's Mirror and the staff who worked on Keycon. Thank you. So I had my camera, and all I basically did the whole time was I just recorded a ton of stuff. That's all I did. I recorded 690 gigabytes of footage that I need to sort through. I need to color correct. I at least got up from the previous night. I wouldn't miss it. Like, come on, that's enough sleep. Plus, that's why we go to dim sum in the morning before a meetup. That's the refresher that brings you alive, and then you're ready after dim sum for anything life throws your way, aside from more food because you're already full. So we meetup was from 12, officially 12 to 6. The reason that Garrett of Dixie Mech or Novel Keys crew could not join us was because the setup for the meetup starts at 11, and we met up at like 10:30 for food. So, they would have they would get there, eat 2 dishes, and then have to balance the setup. So, at the meetup, all the vendors were already there, set up. It was wonderful. They had a decent amount of tables, but not too many tables, and I definitely understand why they had that, only 2 keyboards per person limit going on. Although, I'll say some people took more than 2 keyboards worth of rooms with the amount of artisans they brought. Keycon was it was the artisans meetup. If you are a fan of artisans, then Keycon is the bee's knees for people wanting to climb the artisan trees. If you want to see the big boys in the artisan game, and the big girls in the artisan game, Keycon. A lot of great vendors though. Right on the Bay was there representing Key Cult. We got, Mike and the crew for Novel Keys. Zeal was there. We got Tiny was there. Drop was there. Drop had a lot of crew there. I think Drop brought 5 people for their one booth, and they were living it up, that RGB with their Control, Alt, and Shift. Mito was there, which is interesting. I did not know he changed his hair color again, but I believe it's purple now, if I remember, pinkish purple. It's laser color. There's a lot of cool people. One Up Keyboards. They're at every New York event. They're there just because they're New Yorkers, so it works out for them really well. Everyone I mentioned from the day before was there in attendance. There were 3 panel discussions. One was on keycap designers, one was on keyboard designers, and another one was on artisans. I attended the first two because that's what I'm interested in. I have a lot of footage of recordings of those. I didn't capture everything, but I captured, I'd say, the highlights and the best parts of the questions and their answers. So, gotta sort through all that footage. Yeah. And, you know, cut it up, spice it up, make it all nice and pretty. Those will probably be their own videos, or like, I figure out, there's a lot to figure out. With 690 gigs of footage, it's too much to figure out, almost. It was a great time. Everyone was hot and sweaty because there's two areas. Okay, there's like the general lobby where they let us use like 4 gigantic tables where everyone put their keyboards, and then you had to go down the stairs through this small little hallway, down another flight of stairs to like this like weird basement essentially that had like 2 small AC units about my size, trying their absolute hardest to cool a small room full of 200-ish people. I was wearing like 2 shirts, like short like this but long sleeve, and an undershirt. I was carrying, you know, my heavy camera rig, so I was just like pouring sweat. It was tough, but it was fun. I talked with a lot of people. Caught up with a lot of people, which was absolutely great. It was a absolutely fun time. So, pros and cons. Pros, really well organized. All staff members had T-shirts on that identified themselves as, you know, event staff. The check-in was easy enough. They use a wristband system to get you in and out, as well as the wristband had a number assigned to your raffle number, which was convenient and easy for them to manage. Con, of course, is it was a small venue, even for the amount of people that showed up, and the fact that we had like 2 spaces technically. The venue was still way too small for the amount of people that showed up, but that's like not completely their fault. That's just New York, right? As far as I know. So, because of that, it was also underground and super hot. It was really warm. The talks were good. I wish the room for the talks were a little bit bigger, but it's nice that they had them in a separate room, so we didn't have concerns about noise during the panel discussions from the general meetup areas, which is really nice. I enjoyed the meetup. A lot of people to talk with. You know, I talked with Pudsey a bit. I talked with Ryan Norbauer a bit. Novelty's crew a lot. I talked to the Drop crew a little bit. One Up Keyboard, like I mentioned. I wish I had more time to talk to more people. That's what I'll say about every meetup. And that's a lot of times just because, like, there's so many people at the meetup. It's so hard to find so much time to, like, talk to everyone. Especially for me, when part of me being there is, like, as a job to record for my own content to show you guys. And it's hard to, like, record stuff and have a conversation to people as well. Jeff, no place in New York will hold that many people for free admission. Given what he had to work with, he knocked it out of the park. I agree. Like, all my complaints definitely are like, they are complaints, but they're all understandable complaints where it's like, he knocked it out of the park for what he did. It was still hot, but he fit everyone for free, you know. Down the stairs into hell. Oof. So yeah, it was a really fun time, really good time. After, you know, everyone took some pictures. I'm sure you guys saw some pictures of me. Speaking of pictures, you guys want to see some Keycon pictures? Because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at every single picture, whether or not they're interesting. Okay, let's just start. There's a person about to touch a switch, holding a drink. There was a bar downstairs. Next is a Fun New with JTK Raindrop. Hako. I'm pretty sure that says violets, but it looks like violers. Yes, this was on the check-in desk. So when you checked in, which, by the way, when you go in, you see all these keyboards at the table, but the check-in is in the underground part, and I thought that was weird. I feel like the check-in should have been, if they could have done it, when you walked in. Here's the upstairs area, the lobby. Model F keyboards. Joe was there. I talked to Joe quite a bit, because he's also very interested in, like, video stuff, which is really cool. I didn't know that about him. He liked video and camera stuff. We talk actually quite a bit about, like, my camera rig and, like, his stuff. There's the steno guy working on his really cool split steno board, and that's why you see the steno stuff right there. These aren't my pictures, by the way. These are all the public pictures that people have contributed. Joe is the coolest indeed. Here's AEK 64 brown Alps with JP keycaps. Very nice. It's got a lot of green going on. A lot of artisans. Like I said, don't worry, you're gonna see a lot of artisans, guys. I haven't even looked through this whole album, but I know. I know. How cinematic. But I know. A G80 11800. You got those vintage MX Browns, baby, but they've been lubed with the 1514 films. This one felt pretty nice. I thought Red Samurai was a bit out of touch, to be honest, but no, this is a cool board. This is a cool board. More people typing. So yeah, you want to get your keyboard shined quickly. Go to a meetup. If you guys see that that Alice just peeking above that watch, that's Pudsy's Alice. He put it at different places at different times in the meetup. Got a lot of essay at the meetup as well. Ooh, that's the Kelly Fanny pack, by the way. You guys know who Kelly is? He's an absolutely wonderful friend. That's his fanny pack. He was the only kid with a fanny pack. It was a smart move. I'm probably gonna bring one next time. You got a 5140. You got a Korn with a case by little keyboards. You got another artisan tray. It's got a lot of people. A nice little cinematic shot. Let's go through some of these that look like repeats. Someone showing off their carrying solution for their big keyboards, which works out really well. Nice little pusheen right there, being all cute. So there's couch areas like every lobby has, and we also filled those up with people's keyboards. Not as much room, but it's a thing. Got the steno machine, Keycon. Got more artisans. More artisans. A lot of artisans were on sale. So if you're into artisans, like, Keycon is a great time to buy artisans directly from the artisan maker. Look at mold system technology. Okay, look at all of these artisans. If you're into artisans, oh, bam. If you're into blurry pictures because Google Photos takes a while to load, you also have that. Look at that fleet of artisans just right there, past the spotlight. Like I said, some people brought more space of artisans they would have filled if they only brought 2 of their keyboards. Sometimes I can't tell if a picture's gonna be interesting when it's so blurry. I have to wait for it to load. More artisans. There's Diego's cherry split board, which is really nice. Lubed MX Browns. More people chilling. Favorite keyboard I got to see there? I really don't know. Murica, that flag though? Murica. Thank you, Boop. You understand. There's a Mike of Novel Keys. He's a really cool guy. He's right there. He's right there. He's doing his thing. One thing I regret not bringing cards, actually. Like business cards. I should have done that. Dasher D60. Oof. Load faster, please. People with their fancy Super HD pictures. You got some stickers. Someone brought a dog, which is really cute. A servicey kind of dog, I think. In this box, if you guys are wondering, there was some glow-in-the-dark resin stuff. So it was in a box to, so you could see that glow in the dark life. They had a poster for the meetup as well, which is really cool. For some reason, someone asked me to sign one of their posters. A lot of keyboards here. There's the Lindolphin V3 right here. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Crew of people sitting around chatting artisans. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, big artisan meetup. Definitely more so than the keyboards, you know. GMK Olivia. Nice artsy shot. Some cues. Nathan's TGR A17 with MX Xylence, baby. 5mm acrylic plates. Got some cool stuff over here. Oh, there's Dixie and Mrs. Dixie. One of the MVP couples of the meetup. If not the MVP couple of the meetup. Come on. Look how great. Look how great they look. Absolute A+. Yes, there's a Bower. There's a back of the Bower. There should be a better picture if I go forward. But yeah, they're absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Oh, you see Mito just from his hair. That's the only thing that's contrasted in the background. Keyboards and artisans. There's a lot of upstairs pictures. Curious when we'll start seeing some downstairs pics. Know what I'm saying? Bum 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 bum. More artists. Oh, this has sound to it and a video. Do you guys want to hear this? Do you guys want to hear this with audio for the ambiance of it just being loud? Because I can do that. No thanks. Okay. More artisans. Like I said, if you like artists, this is where I think I'm looking at all these. I'm like, there needs to be like some nice fancy, like more fancy aluminum artisan holder cases for people to flex with at this point. I think a lot of these pictures are contributed like by the same few people. Because they're all upstairs. Where are these downstairs shots? Yeah, Gracio did announce one recently. I think it's like the Shield or something like that. Oh, here's one of the first here's one of the panels. There we go. Here we go. Got P. Wade, aka designer of GMK Taro. We got Olivia drinking rosé, of course. We got Mike from Novel Keys, and we got Garrett of Dixie Mech. What an A+ lineup. A+ lineup. Good lineup of creators in this community. Another picture of them. Oh, there's me. There's the creeper picture of me. The creepiest, one of the creepiest Huey pictures. Okay, look at this. Look at this weirdo. Who is this weirdo right here? This is the rig I carried around all day. That battery is very heavy. I look like a mix of like exhausted and drunk at the same time. Just going around taking footage of keyboards. Glow in the dark thing. A Norba Force. More artisan goodies. 1-up keyboards. Artisans and other stuff. Mold stuff. Grid 600. A cool bandana shirts. More artisans. We got Zeal in the house. Our man Zeal. Not one, but 2 Zephyrs. This man, yeah, he's a cool guy. Zeal's a pretty cool guy. I think all these boards we've seen, cause they're all these are like the upstairs ones. I'm like, where are these more? Where are more the dank basement shots? Hope there's more of them. Otherwise, you guys have to wait for me. That's cute. Action shot, baby. The artisan panel. I think I can identify them. We got Marcus, ETF, that's Gaff, that's Binge, and I think that's Boop. So I think that's all 4 of them. I don't... Yeah. I think that's all 4. I think that's it. So, from right to left, ETF, Gaff, Binge, Boop. Where are the basement picks? We've seen so many of these above ground picks. Oh, here we go. So here's the Key Cult. They had a mailing list thing. They had their boards out and on Flex on Flex, just displaying all of them. There's our boy Kelly again, reaching into the fanny bag pack. What's he got for you? What's he got for you? There's CJT showing off the Lemo connector. There's a group of people checking to see if they won anything from the raffle. Did they win anything from the raffle? Who knows? I'm on the other side of the pillar that you guys can't see because my chat's blocking it. There is an interesting meeting of the minds. There's Ryan Norbauer and there's Mito. Interesting meeting of the minds. I'll say that much. Mito's very nice. Ryan's very nice. They're both very nice individuals, though. I actually talked to Mito a little bit. Burb. More people. Like I said, every time you can just point out the hair. It shines out. Mito. That's how you know it's him. Binge is that back table. Novelty's at that table over there. Which is pretty cool. Pudsey is right here. That's our boy. Okay. Drop was in the back by the speakers. It looks like we're in the artsy compressed section, which is nice because these load instantly. Oh, that's all the pictures? That is all the pictures. Wow. All this is one picture. Nice. That's all the pictures that have been submitted to the public album so far. I'm sure there's a ton of other people who have pictures who are getting ready to post them because maybe they want to take out the bad ones, color correct them, color grade them. I mean, I have a ton of footage that I still need to sort through before it's, all ready to go. But thank you to everyone who's submitted. So who submitted? Let's see, we got some Bethany Kravitz, Greg College, Marcus Andrews, Alan Enkrine, Marcus Andrews, Eric Rodriguez, Drew Koo, and others. Thank you so much for submitting all these pictures for people who did. Hopefully more pictures will trickle in, but I'll post the link Reno in chat if anyone wants to go through it themselves. I did skip quite a few pictures just because a lot of them were semi-repeats. There's the link to all those pictures in the chat. So essentially, I was only in one picture, it looks like. And that was the meetup. So, for those of you who weren't able to attend the meetup, what does it make you think about meetups? Would you go to a meetup? For those of you who did attend the meetup, what did you think about it? I mean, I think it was, for the most part, pretty fun for everyone involved. I definitely had a really good time at the meetup. So, yeah. I will say, as someone who's not really strong into artisans, that's probably like the only thing that I couldn't relate to at this meetup, which was like the high abundance of people into the artisan community. I felt like I could only really understand like a third of the meetup. And like, I don't think I'm exaggerating for the people who were there. I think they can easily say like probably 2/3 of the meetup was artisans. So, for me, like, I just not into artisans, so that was hard for me to try to adapt to. I heard, like, basically, if there's the Keycon moniker to it, it basically just becomes an artisan, a meeting of the artisan people. Because I went to New York last year, and it was not artisan heavy. It was pretty balanced. Definitely more focused on keyboards and keycap sets. Most meetups are artisan people. That is absolutely wrong. This is the first meetup I've ever been to where it's mostly artisan people. But this is only my second East Coast meetup, so maybe things are different in the East Coast. The West Coast is definitely primarily focused on keyboards. And I will say, I was definitely disappointed in the keyboards at this meetup compared to like the West Coast. There wasn't that many at New York last year. Oh, that was all right. Yeah, I actually thought for 2 keyboards per person, a lot more people would bring better boards, essentially, to a degree. I mean, like, I think West Coast definitely flexed harder for all the years I've been doing. I would say maybe there's probably personal bias to that. That's how I felt, even looking through these pictures. But I'm not going to lie, there were some baller boards at this meetup. That's true for, like, every meetup, though. So that was really, really cool. You know, like, personally, I haven't had a chance to, like, type on a number 1 before this meetup. And I did. And I enjoyed it. It was cool. It was cool. So I need to figure out the NorCal stuff. The NorCal meetup interest check stuff's going to go up sometime this week. Then after that, you know, the next day, I just went home. Because the next day was Sunday. And I went home because I got work today. Today's Monday. And here we are in present day. Crazy how all that works. Crazy how all that works. So for those who haven't went to a meetup yet, why not? I hope if you haven't gone to a meetup yet, you were able to go to a meetup in the future. Because small or big, they're all different and wonderful. I've been to meetups as little as 7 people, and I've been to meetups as big as 475 people. So. CFO, good to see you. Keycon seems too big now. You'd probably go to a smaller one in present day. Smaller meetups are very nice because you have a chance to talk to more people. That's one of the things, like, I always lose at a lot of meetups is, like, at big meetups, I don't talk to, unfortunately, as many strangers as I would as a small meetup. At the big meetups, I mostly just talk to the people I talk to a lot online or the people I already know. At smaller meetups, I'll go up to anyone and be like, oh, hey, what's up? Tell me about your board. And because at smaller meetups, everyone has more time per person to talk and communicate. So. Calm data, you're so salty you couldn't go. You're 20 minutes away, your kids were sick. Ooh. Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate, but as long as your kids get better. CFO, all the ones you've ever been to have been considered small, but you enjoyed those a lot. Big meetups possibly too overwhelming and too many people to see. It's quite overwhelming. And especially for a meetup like this when you have like the heat and humidity involved, like it definitely can wear you down. That's a for sure kind of thing. I'm definitely curious what the final numbers were because they're claiming like 500 people. I'm gonna have to hit that with a doubt. Thanks, Pudsey. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining and helping me fill in the gaps of my memories, as well as help me to elaborate on stories. See you tomorrow, Puds. So yeah, upcoming meetups. So for upcoming meetups, there is Seattle coming up next month. Anyone going to that? Hope you guys are able to head to a big meetup coming up. I forgot to mention one thing. When we were at the ramen place, I went. Oh my god. I feel like that was a very that's a very contextual joke though. Okay, I'll try to tell this. So everyone was ordering drinks at the ramen place, and Pudzy and I were just looking at the menu like we normally do. For context, Pudzy is still a excelling student to it, almost done, basically done. Just started a brand new job. Hasn't even got his first paycheck yet. I think he's getting that either this week or next week. So, congratulations. And then we're looking at the menu, and Pudzy's like, "So, Huey, which of these like drinks do you like? Do you like dry sake? Got this." I'm like, And then I think it was Olivia was like, "Pudsey, how are you gonna pay for this?" And I was like, No. I want to see what Pudsey says to me to try to convince me to get to buy him the alcohol. Lets me pay for the sake. It was like a small little mini mental chess game that Olivia just like did not see, basically. So she all the subtext was just like ruined, and we just all started laughing so hard about it because Pudgy and I knew what was happening. It was like a really small, very small, subtle back and forth. Have you guys ever had that situation where like you try to sometimes goad your friend into going a direction so you can benefit from it? It's basically that. So anyone going to Seattle coming up? That's what I'm curious about. Or AX. I don't know. I'm going to AX. Seattle, I'm 50-50 about. You know, I'm kind of the same boat as Nightmare. If I go, I need to get a lot of money really quickly because New York definitely went higher than I expected in terms of spending, if I'm perfectly honest. And I could just like cut my AX ticket, like just like cut as a loss and not go or not spend anything there. But you know what? No, because AX is like the one true vacation I have every single year. So I don't think I'll be skipping AX. I say that because for me, keyboard meetups aren't vacations because I have to work. You guys saw me carrying that camera around, right? That's what. Yeah, that's. So I can't just like enjoy myself. I'm like, okay, I got this shot. I gotta think about like how I'm gonna put it in the video. Yeah, so for me, Seattle is 50-50 right now as I speak, but as the days go by, it's looking less and less likely, unfortunately, that I'll be able to make it to Seattle. And that does suck. I wish it was easy all the time, right? But can't always get what you want. If you try sometimes, you may get what you need. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Any last questions or comments before I sign out for tonight? Also, while I wait for any potential questions to come in, don't forget to check my other contents. You can support me through Twitch Prime if you have that. YouTube channels. Did anyone have clacks? Yeah. Pretty confident people had clacks. Pretty confident. You guys are Apocalypse. Let me know. Let me know when you're in the area for AX. Definitely down to meet up. Oof, only one day last year. Big mistake. 4 days all the time. Even if you only go for 3 of them. I unfortunately did not steal any clacks for you, Sifo. I'm sorry. I'll keep my eye out next time. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching and enjoying this little story time stream. Keycon was a big success, and it was an extremely fun meetup. I highly beseech anyone who hasn't had a chance to go to a larger meetup to go. They're fun experiences. I mean, a lot of people are like, you flew to a keyboard? You flew across the country for a keyboard meetup? Hell yeah, I did. You know what? It may have been expensive, but it was absolutely wonderful. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. On Wednesday, we resume the Cool Board with episode 3, which is going to be a pretty fun one, I think, coming up. So keep your eyes out for that. Real quick, though, for those of you who are wondering about my schedule for this week, Huey, where's This Week in Keyboards? Well, like I just mentioned, for the last sorry, I'm dying, hour and a half, I was at Keycon, so I had no time to work on This Week in Keyboards. So that's probably going to be released on Wednesday, is my hope. The edited VOD or probably either tomorrow or Thursday for This Week in Keyboards. The edited VOD for last episodes, the Cool Board, will hopefully be out on Wednesday, so you guys can watch that during the day and then watch episode 3 after. I don't know. That's the hope. I'm praying that can come true. If not, it'll be a day after, and it will just be delayed for a second. And then I have some kind of typing sounds video coming out this week as well, like I do for the last 4 weeks now. So that's the plan, to catch up on the content that I missed because of the hectic weekend. Hopefully I can catch up pretty soon. And then once I catch up, I got releases coming out for Topra Niz sliders, Topra silencing rings, and looming Topra. So until then, thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.